documenting Metamorphosis. Just having a moment here, connecting with the dogs. And I was quite moved by this improvisation that Jackie did with Alicia and Shane, because I was taking a while to get back and get myself sorted. So they were doing this circle exercise, which, I've seen a lot of that kind of stuff. It was beautiful. I hadn't seen that exercise before, but that kind of stuff is very much the Tai Chi and Qigong. But then they did this most beautiful thing. Every experience of reality is indescribable. I read a few weeks ago. Good boy, aren't you? They're all so beautiful. They're all been such good dogs. But yeah, I've noticed that I've been noticing all the time. Like, I'm noticing every single time that I connect, but not really connecting. And so I'm just having a bit of a cry. After just realizing, becoming conscious of how moved I was. And I just sent this thing you can actually write a text message and send it, and just say, it was quite a deep therapeutic effect training tonight, because of the last 4 weeks that I've lived. Stay here. It's been pretty full on time. It's been this time of review this weekend, a lot of writing, and a few dialogues, a few discussions. I come to realise feedback is pretty clear that I'm wasting my time communicating with people, and there's all kinds of reasons why people are not able to understand. It's not just the noise in their head or the overcomplicated innovation that always has to go with everything that I present. So coming to understand all kinds of things and just accepting it from a rather impartial, equanimous way of approaching life, really, and just that is what it is. Okay, so integrating it, that's the word I'm looking for, integrating it into life. And so doing that for the larger scale of the last 4 weeks have just been this relentless, not letting myself have a moment's break. Not that I do anyway, so it hasn't been that much more, but it's like, all right, I'm just taking any attention or focus or ability that I have to focus, and any resource of energy, any kilojoules available for anything as far as the conscious mind is concerned, then it is devoted entirely to looking within self and at self and observing self. Just observe, and scrutinize everything that I observe. Find this incongruence, this inconsistency, this disharmony, this distortion, whatever this is, that is within self, that is some perception that shapes an attitude, that I have an opinion about the observation or and then there's this emotional charge, all that stuff going on. And then some soul conditions from prior to incarnating here, or set in, whatever that is. So I've found all kinds of insights into myself the last 4 weeks, but I haven't found what I'm looking for. And that was about just having cooperation and people with integrity around me who actually do what they're saying and do. And when I go to do a project, it happens instead of just falling apart. And money actually gets paid to me, and I actually then generate an income again and get back on my feet and sort life out and sort out this clusterfuck that I've got to sort out, that has just been in a stasis of being stuck, and that's all there is to it, and it's unexplainable. There's something very powerful in the unseen realms of creation that is holding it there. That's become undeniable. And so I haven't found those keys, but I've found all kinds of other very valuable insights, and I've come to understand all kinds of things. And then I've also gone back and I've asked some particular people for some feedback or some perspective, and they kind of respond, no, everything's all good, it's great, blah blah, no worries, wish you all the best. But I'm like, yeah, thank you, I get that, I know you feel that, but there's this kind of happened, and then it's like this, and that just, it must have been this kind of experience for you. And then they're like, yeah, actually it was, blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, okay, good, right. And I'm sorry if this seems like it's hurt your feelings or anything. Well, no, it's not. It's just very valuable to get that feedback. It didn't hurt my feelings or anything. It's not actually that confronting, because I've been rather disturbed by how I was experienced to be. And it only mattered because of certain circumstances of who the person was. Here! Which means the circumstance. Here, come here! And so it's the kind of things that, when you're in a situation like mine, very few things really reach you and touch you at all, let alone inspire you or motivate you or show you that you actually do really care about certain qualities and certain things, and you could, you get a real good look at yourself when you realize you could just make decisions and change everything. Then it gives you a good look at yourself as to where you are and what you're doing, and allows you to start asking some questions that you may have never thought about asking yourself, or you may have been too scared to ask yourself. And stuff like that comes up in crisis, I think, generally. In my work that I used to have, or I still do this a lot, but I'm just not getting paid for it. This is the thing, like the human exchange that people are so desperately craving is actually something that I've spent a lot of time becoming qualified in. So this is like, there's incongruences there's this inconsistency, this incompatibility that doesn't quite fit. So all I'm really doing now is painting a contrast of process and acceptance and understanding and insight that has come for the last 4 weeks, especially, is my point of focus here, of this real sincere and intrinsic deep introspection, going like with determination, going this. I'm not creating anything else. I'm not bothering to even try or even think about doing anything else with anyone, anywhere, at all, because I've got to sort this out. Because every interaction is just this inefficient, impractical, there's a massive energy leakage. And I've been aware of it for a long time, and looking everywhere and just meeting whoever comes into my life where they're at, and that's as good as it gets. But I haven't been getting anywhere. And whatever it is, time is changing. It's May. You see that moon up there? Soon to be full again. Time is changing. The world is changing. And there's only like about a 10% chance of our electrical grid being wiped out this last week. That's just 10% for that window time, but we've always got something like a 10 to 40% chance of it happening in the next 6 to 12 hours because of human consciousness, really. But that's another story. That's actually something that moves me and I found beautiful, but that's about all it is. There's all this enthralling science. This is the stuff that I really live for. I actually find this enthralling, and I know all about. I know everything that is out there in the world to know, except for the stuff that I've forgotten about what occurred with the sun this last week. That was actually a really simple thing. Like, it's pretty straightforward and all that. So I was all over that anyway. Like, straightforward, know what that was. Hadn't been watching it every day. Preoccupied with this other stuff, but then I did see something on the Friday, and then it all came through. I didn't watch it. Didn't watch it at all. Didn't look up the data. Didn't do anything. And then I checked in on. I saw a couple of things. I saw what I needed to see, and this is how it works in the divine. But that sort of gives a picture of this detachment, and it's more of a stress-orientated detachment. It's just I know how to go into a detached training point of view. Right, here I am from this point of view now. Now I'm detached, looking at it from here and here. And it's like, this must happen because I'm in this state of stress. I'm going well past tolerances. This is enough. And I realized that this training session tonight with Jackie taking the training, it had a very therapeutic effect on me. And a lot of those ways were ways that I didn't really think were possible to occur in this one training session. So that's a nice surprise and lesson and wonder. And there's other things that I could see, that's very human. I've seen lots of human stuff like that before, but this was such an innately beautiful. There was this, improvisation that they did, that Jackie was just making up. Like, they went from this one exercise, and it's this thing about, so we do whatever exercise, just do whatever. Let's say, so I'm doing this spinning thing, I got this going on, and now he stops, right? And so that music stops. Now keep that alive and hold position, and then there's no music, and Jackie comes over and she's standing and just starts dictating these directions, as she has been, but it was just something that they kept alive, and it was just using the speech, but she was telling them to turn and look at them and then go towards them, towards each other, and changing the lines of the speech between each person taking turns, and it was all just completely instant with the directions that Jackie was giving. And Shane and Alicia were so smooth. They were so composed and disciplined and controlled, but the restraint, which is something that you add on top. It's a skill that you add on top. The restraint, the gentleness. So you're not taking something away as in refining. You are adding on top by gaining the control and then making yourself gentle by adding the restraint. And then all this awareness of making the fingers soft. Because otherwise you're finishing this like finish pause but then soft fingers. And if you don't need to be told to have the fingers soft already because you've gone to this smooth thing, it's actually something really beautiful, and it's an incredibly rare skill. Shane actually moves somewhat like smoke. Like he's got a certain formlessness about him in the yin as a martial artist. That's quite interesting. And Jackie uses it so beautifully, so perfectly. Like he's standing behind Jackie as she's giving this instruction. I thought, wow, this is a presentation in itself. This is something worth seeing in itself. You could take that out, put that in the middle of Wall Street or whatever the busiest epicenter of the world markets is, and while they're there, while Jackie is instructing, they had those two there, no matter what clothing they're wearing. Just like if you turn and you look at that, then you must continue looking at it. I don't think there'd be any, like what I witnessed, I don't think there would be any person who would be able to look at what I looked at occur and then look away and keep going on about whatever that was going on in their life, in their day, that whoever it was with them, blah, 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 yeah, I think, what, yeah, and just get, oh, hang on, look, and just have to watch. Because, and that would be, there's something in that you know that's not going to last for very long, so you watch while you can. Whatever that is that's going on, because you wouldn't know, like, what is that? What is that? What's going on? Is that a performance of some kind? Or are they training? What is that? Is that dance or is that acting? What are they actually doing? And you just just shut up and watch it. And sometimes, like, you could be looking at something from 120 meters. You'd have to watch what they're, or maybe not that far. You need to see their faces, I suppose. But yeah, it was absolutely compelling. How compelling it was. And there's this thing about, we're using different music, and their romance was the word that Jackie said after, and it's all this old stuff. I mean, fuck, they got some really, the old ways. There is some serious beauty that has paved the way to us getting to where we are now in society, to become like so blatantly numb that we're almost nihilistic about some things, it seems. Some things, they'll never be about money, and they'll never have a particular price. Like they'll always be priceless. And art, I really saw something tonight about art. I understood art. I've been on this whole thing about art. I see myself as an artist as of 5 weeks ago or something like that, maybe 6 weeks ago. Kind of lost a bit of that vibe now, but yeah. But this, what I witnessed tonight, has certainly made me understand a monumental amount more about art and about humanity and about art and artifice and art having a place in this human world, and all these different civilizations and art and performance and music, dance. I think that we have really lost something. So much so that most of the world doesn't realize that it ever existed. And I saw that tonight, alive. Yeah, and it moved me. I've seen something like that before, but not quite like that. It really touched me. All right, over and out.